if you were to go back in time and look at my channel at the end of last year and look at what my top videos were, one of my top videos of last year was talking about the members of IZ*ONE, the final lineup after Produce48 ended. And ever since then, I have had this idea to upload a video about a year later and talk about what I think about IZ*ONE now after they've been together for an entire year. I know that they haven't debuted together for an entire year, but I almost count the end of Produce48 as their beginning, because it really is. Yeah, today I'm going to be going through, I watched my video this morning, my old video this morning, and I'm going to talk about what I think about IZ*ONE now compared to what I thought about them back then. If you haven't seen that video, I will link it in the description box down below, because if you found me during my Produce X videos, I have been making Produce videos for a while, but this year was the first year I did every single week, and I almost wish I had done the same for Produce48, because I'm sure that would have been super interesting to look back on and watch. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So what I did in that video was I talked about IZ*ONE's members, each member. I went from 1 down to 12, and I talked about some changes I would make and why I think she shouldn't be in the group or she should be in the group. And then I talked about whether or not I thought I was going to stan them. And basically at the end of that video, spoiler alert, I wasn't sure. But I will tell you right now that after Lovie and Rose came out, I was like, we gotta stan. It is by far, X1 has debuted at the point that I'm filming this, and it is, Lovie and Rose is still by far my favorite debut release from a Produce group. It is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I did end up standing IZ*ONE, so there is that, spoiler alert. Yeah, because that was a big topic of discussion at the end of that video. So let's go through the members. I'll tell you what I thought of them back then, and then I'll tell you what I think about them now, and we'll just discuss. And you can just leave me your opinions if your opinions changed, if you watched my old video, or if you just watched Produce48 in general and have been following IZ*ONE. Let me know what you think of them in the comment section down below after a year. So for Hayoung, she was the first girl. Obviously, she is the center of IZ*ONE. She got first place on Produce48. I said that she was a good maknae and a good dancer, and she has tons of time to improve because she's super young. I also said in that video I wish she hadn't made it so she could go back to Starship, train a bunch, and then be this phenomenal person later on when she debuts under Starship Entertainment. I also said she had fantastic facial expressions, which is something I commented about her a lot on during Produce48. That was the one thing I remembered from her, and the one thing that got me interested in her. While she was all of those things, in my opinion, she was not final center material. Here's what I think today. So I do still think that she is a good dancer. I think she's a great maknae, and I do think that she has tons of time to improve. I do think she has improved, but I do think that she still doesn't act like, how do I say this? She still is not the one person I think of when I think of IZ*ONE. And I feel like with 101, the first person I think of when you say 101 is Daniel. The first person when you say IOI, the first person I think about is Somi. Even for X1, I feel like the first person I think about when you say X1 is Johan. But for IZ*ONE, I feel like I think of Sakura and Hayoung. I think of both of them. They are both the center of the group. And I think that that's okay, especially with IZ*ONE's Japanese and Korean kind of concept where they do both. I think having two centers is an okay thing because Hayoung's Japanese isn't up to par with Sakura's, obviously, and Sakura's Korean's not up to par with Hayoung. So I think that it's almost all right for her to not be center material, and maybe that was Mnet's plan from the beginning. They spend a pretty equal amount of time, I would say, in Korea and Japan. They do a lot of things with Japan. They do a lot of things in Korea. They're just very busy people. Sakura, I said that I was very sure she was going to debut from the beginning of the show. I was like, this is Mnet's choice. They're going to show her off. She's probably going to get first place. What else did I say? I said that she improved a lot from the beginning. My main issue with her throughout the show was she complained a lot, but I thought she was a really capable member, and I thought that I said, I know why she's one of the more popular Japanese members in AKB, because I just can tell. I can tell that she's super popular. Sakura, I feel like, has a very likable personality. You just look at her and you like her. You're not sure why, but you like her. Today, I think that Sakura, like I said, is almost the second center of this group. I feel like if she had been first place, I would only think of her as the center, but I feel like a lot of the times in IZ*ONE, you see both Sakura and Hayoung at the same time, or they're back to back, or they have lines next to each other, or they're in choreography next to each other. I feel like they are just very much together a lot. And I think that's okay. I think Sakura has come a long way. I'm very impressed by how much she's improved in a year, and I can see that they've definitely been training in Korea a lot. I'll say this with all the Japanese girls. They've all come a long way, and I can see that the Korean training has really made them like more like K-pop stars, because the main thing in Produce48 was Japanese training versus Korean training, and there was like huge differences. Same with Jodie, who's in Rocket Punch now, who was originally an AKB member. She's under Wolm Entertainment in Rocket Punch. She has also come a long way. So I think that the Korean training made the Japanese girls more of the K-pop norm training. Yeah, didn't really have any complaints about Sakura back then. I don't really now. I think that she's a capable member. Like I said, think that she kind of overshadows Wonyoung sometimes, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, because Japanese member, Korean member, they go back and forth to Japan and Korea. It's not really a bad thing to have two kind of centers. Yuri, I said I was shocked she made it. I was shocked about her ranking. I was like, what are you doing here? That doesn't mean I don't like her. I do like her. She wasn't my favorite main vocalist from the show, so I think I was a little bitter in that video about my favorite main vocalist not making the group. But I do like Juri a lot. I think sometimes in IZ*ONE songs she kind of like vanishes and then hits a high note and then vanishes, and then yeah, I feel like her stage presence isn't really there. But I said that her voice is kind of unstable sometimes. I definitely think she's come a long way with her voice and her vocals, and I'm very happy that she's in this group. I think she adds a lot of amazing vocal color to the group that some of the other members with their more squeaky, like high-pitched vocal tones don't. Like, I feel like hers is different and adds a lot of vocal color, so I'm happy she made it. I literally do not know. I'm still thinking about like how she made it, because she wasn't one of the people I expected to make it, but anyways, I'm happy that she's here. Yena was number 4. I said that I love her. And I still do. I feel like my opinion on Yena has not really changed. She has a lot of great chemistry with the girls. She is very talented both in singing and rapping and dancing, and I just think that she's a fantastic overall member that I'm very happy to have in this group. I think that she adds a lot to IZ*ONE. Yujin is someone I thought wasn't going to make it, and I was pretty neutral about her at the end. I liked her at the beginning of Produce48, and then by the end of Produce48, I wasn't like a fan of her or not a fan of her. I would say a year later that I'm still pretty neutral about her. I don't see a lot of her. She doesn't get a ton of lines in IZ*ONE songs. She doesn't get a ton of like center time in IZ*ONE songs, so I don't really think one way or the other about her, but I am happy she's in IZ*ONE. I don't really have any complaints about her being in IZ*ONE. The next member is Nako. I said that she's super talented. She had a squeaky voice, but she's super cute, and I agree. I think that she adds more to IZ*ONE than I was expecting her to, and I'm very happy about that. And also I think that she's just 2 feet tall. You just have to like adore her. I said that in my other video too, and I was like, yeah, you have to adore her. Number 7 was MB, who is my bias in this group. Who was my number 1 pick overall for Produce48. Love her, think she's great. Yeah. She's a well-rounded trainee. I still think that. I think that during my like first unboxing of IZ*ONE, during their first mini album, I said that she was like main vocal material, and a lot of people didn't like that I said that, but I do think she's great lead vocal material, I will say. I definitely don't see her as the main vocalist, but she's a great leader and she's a great vocalist and she's just a great dancer, and I think that she adds a lot to IZ*ONE. Sometimes I think that IZ*ONE songs are too kiddish for her sometimes, but I don't think that very often. I don't know, it's gonna be like with X1, like looking through if they do a cuter concept, how are the Hyung line gonna do with the cuter concept? Same with IZ*ONE, except for NB is like the mom of IZ*ONE. So number 8 was Hyewon. This was like the majority of the comments were about Hyewon under that video and what I said about Hyewon. So I said that I did not like her. I was not happy that she was in the group. I was not like thrilled about the way that it ended. I think I was mostly upset about the whole BUYEE situation, because that to this day still doesn't sit right with me, what happened at that stage where team 2 had like Eri and Hyewon and like Minami and a couple of other like low-ranked girls in it, and then they had this like team that really killed it in my opinion and did well, and then they lost and Hyewon's team won, and I don't know, it never sat right with me. It's not anyone's fault besides Mnet's. Probably it is Mnet's fault, to be honest. So when she made it to the group, I was like, I need her to like make more facial expressions. I need her to like improve, please. And I will say that after a year, I am okay with Hyewon being in the group. She's still not my favorite member of IZ*ONE. I don't think she'll ever, I mean, she's not gonna be NB ever. Like, NB is my favorite member. But if we were to go back and change it, like the changes I wanted to make, I don't think I would make them anymore, just because I've seen how Hyewon is in this group. I think she smiles more. She makes more than one facial expression, which is fantastic, because when they debuted, I was like, you still make that same facial expression. Like, please make another facial expression, any facial expression, I don't care. She's definitely gotten better with that. She's definitely a better dancer than she used to be. She is definitely improved in rapping and singing. I won't say a ton, but she definitely has. I will give her that. She is one of like the top visual members in this group, and I think that you know, it's a K-pop group. It's important. As much as we don't want to admit it's important, it's important. I also said that she had this like mumbly rap that I just like could not stand. I just don't like mumbly rappers. And I think that she's come a long way since that like mumbly rap we heard. Yeah, so that's just my opinions on her. I'm definitely not like still like super upset she made it. Like, I'm really not upset that she made it at all, to be honest, because, you know, you can be mad about who makes it into a produce group, but once the group debuts, like, that's it. Like, you just gotta accept it and move on with your life. There is no point in continuing to be super upset or super angry about someone making it into a group when you literally couldn't even vote in the first place. So I hope that she continues to improve. I think she will. She's come quite a long way in a year, and I'm just excited for the future of her. And I hope that IZ*ONE do more like subunit songs and stuff, because she doesn't get a lot of lines in their title tracks or a lot of like center time. So I would like to see more of a like like a song that has more people in it. Though they have a couple of songs that they've like performed at fan meetings and stuff and like concerts where have shown more Hyewon in them, and that's like kind of why I want like a subunit with her in it, just so I can see more. Number 9 was Hitomi. She ranked 9th place. I said she was really cute. She's a great dancer. She's super squeaky. I said I was okay with her being in the group, but I didn't really, she wasn't in my top 12, and she's still not, like, wouldn't be in my top 12 today, but I really like Hitomi as well now. I think she is super cute. I think especially for their cuter Japanese songs, she adds a lot. It's like the opposite of Eunbi. When they perform more sexier songs, I'm kind of like, Hitomi, what are you doing? It was like the opposite of that. So, but I think she does everything well. She's a very good dancer, and I think that she's super cute, and I adored her blonde hair when she was blonde. Is she still blonde? Number 10 was Chaewon. She was another Willem girl. I was literally shook that she made it into this group. She was like the Kang Mini of Produce48 for me. I was like, what are you doing here? Like, how did you make it here? And I was super excited that she made it here. She's a great Willem girl, super stable vocals, great dance. Her and MB like stick together all the time, and it's really cute. I love Willem girls so much. Ugh, I need them to join Rocket Punch after IZ*ONE disbands, because I need to keep Chaewon and MB together. But their interactions on Soi's birthday, all 8 of them were together. The 6 girls of Rocket Punch and MB and Chaewon, super cute. But I'm super happy that Chaewon's in this group. I really was not expecting her to get as many lines as she does in their songs, but I think that she just like is a fantastic vocalist, and she's super cute, and I love her. So yes. Minju, I wrote in my notes, I wrote, who is that? Because I think the most interesting like change of opinion I have is Minju. So Minju, when she was announced, I was like, what are you doing here? Like, who is this? Why are you here? I really didn't know who she was throughout 90% of the show, I would say. And then like the last 2 or 3 episodes, I knew her name, and then she got announced into the group, and I was like, what? But I am very happy that she is in the group. I think Minju has been one of those girls that has been really popular with fans. I don't know why. I feel like a lot of my friends are Minju biased in IZ*ONE, and a lot of people I see are Minju biased, and I see the most Minju fan cams and everything. I think she's improved a ton, and I think that she has just become one of like the most popular members of IZ*ONE, and I was not expecting that at all. But you know, she's doing great. Keep doing you, girl. And number 12 was Chaewon. I was so conflicted because I was not sure she was going to make it into the group, but I'm very happy she did make it into the group. Chaewon has become one of those members that like is a staple in IZ*ONE's songs. Like, she has some really interesting parts. A lot of her parts she shares with Eunbi. Like, Eunbi will have it the first verse, Chaewon will have it the second verse or something like that, or flipped, whatever. Yeah, so that's just kind of my thoughts on that. I would have replaced her with any of the girls in the top 4 or in the bottom 4. All of those girls deserve to be in Hyewon. And I'm not saying that they don't deserve to be in Hyewon now. If I could add 3 more members to Hyewon, I would add those 3. But so I'm very happy that Chaewon made it. I don't know what WM would have done with her if she had gone back to WM. So I'm just very happy that she made it here. And I really hope that when she is done with Hyewon, I almost want her to leave and go to Woolham and stay with Chaewon and Eunbi, because those 3 seem to like hang out a lot and I really like their interactions and I'm gonna miss them interacting. So other things I said in that video, I would change Hyewon for Kan, and I don't know if I can see Kan in this group, honestly. The way that they have, the direction they have gone, the music they have released, I do not know if I can see Kan in this group. I am sad that Kan didn't make this group and Pledis did literally nothing with her in the past year, and then she left Pledis Entertainment, and I like, she has a fan meeting coming up soon, but I just had like such high expectations for what Pledis would do with her and the other girl afterwards, and they did nothing, and I'm just very sad about that. I also said I would switch Minju with Chaewon. I would not do that. I think Minju is fantastic in Hyewon, and yeah, I wouldn't do that today. I also said this was a sketchy season of Produce, and I think this is funny to hear because of all of the X1 rumors, and now there's more Produce48 rumors of like, this was also rigged, and people are like, we knew, we were talking about it last year, and then people forgot about it. So I am curious to see if anything happens with that, because there were some things that happened in Produce48 that I like just really did not sit well with me, and I had this gut feeling that something was sketch, and the fact that now there's like information coming out about like maybe this was also sketch. I also said I wasn't sure what I was gonna think about their music. I really like Hyewon's music. They've released a couple songs. Buenos Aires is one of their Japanese singles that I think is like not their best work. There's nothing really else they've released. I really liked their music a lot more than I was expecting to, and I do plan on continuing to collect them through the rest of their 1.5 years as a group. And yeah, so that is it for my review of my 1 year later talk of what I think about Hyewon and the member lineup and the top 12 of Produce48. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know if any of your opinions changed in the comment section down below, and if you like what you think of Hyewon, and if you like them more than you thought you would, or you didn't like them as much as you thought they would. And what you hope to see from them more in the next 1.5 years. I really want them to do more subunit stuff. I really want them to release another song like Livy and Rose, because that was a fantastic concept for them and I just need it again. And their new Japanese single Vampire is coming out soon. I think they're gonna make a comeback soon in Korea too. So I'm very excited for both those things. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Bye.